What's up, everybody? This is SaberWolf94. Gonna give you guys my Burning Shadows TCG review, latest set. It's gonna be coming the 4th of August. Long story short, is a very good set. Pretty broken cards, a lot of strong Pokemon and strong effects. I'm not gonna cover everything because these videos tend to be long as fuck, but I will cover most of the important stuff, or at least stuff that's important to me, like Pokemon that I really like, that are getting represented, getting prints. So right off the bat, we have Vileplume. I'm not going to talk about, Oddish and Gloom. They're just, they don't really have any abilities or anything special about them. They're just going to be the stepping stones to get to Vileplume. But Vileplume is very, very good. 140 HP, standard stage 2. It could have been better, but, it'll do. 3 retreat cost is ass, but you can search it with heavy ball this way. And the attack down or shock, you flip a coin if heads asleep, if tails confused. So that's good. I usually like effects like that, no matter what you flip, you know they have an ailment. But the real I guess special thing about this card is the ability to spare Polem. As long as this Pokemon is in play, basic Pokemon can attack your opponent's basic Pokemon. So this is pretty strong, obviously. Um, Not really sure. I think I saw on Bulbapedia that it has to be active. Here in Cerebi it says as long as this Pokemon is in play. I'm not really sure, but even if it's just active, it's quite strong. Now the thing is, the attack isn't all that great, so you're gonna have to slowly kill the opponent. But against GX Pokemon, EX Pokemon, well, GX Pokemon that are involved, and a lot of basic Pokemon, you know, regular basic Pokemon, this thing stops them. So it's definitely something to think about. A good ability. One of those abilities that I kind of can get too much. Let's look at Heracross, 110 HP, basic. I suppose it's alright. Its ability is basically Focus Sash. If this guy's gonna die, it gets knocked out. You flip a coin. If heads, it survives with 10 HP. Pitch, 50 for 2, and your opponent has to switch. Decent, decent. I don't know if there's gonna be any strategy with it. Then let's go look at, the Charizard family. Charizard gets represented here. Uh, Charmeleon, always my favorite of the trio. Looks pretty cool here. Doesn't have anything special about him, just 3 for 70 attack. But, pretty cool. So you'll be happy to know that, this Charizard is gonna be one of the better ones. I mean, I don't really think it can like win any big tournaments because it just seems like all the Charizards are gonna be forever, the type of Pokemon that have extreme like overkill attacks, like the one here, Crimson Storm, that costs millions of energy. 5 energy, you have to discard 3, and it does 300. That's great and all, but attaching the energies and there's a lot of trouble. I mean, I suppose you can use it with Emboar and expand it and have some fun. But 250 HP is good. First attack, uh, it's just a basic, wing attack, whatever. And Raging Out GX is actually quite strong, for 3, discard 10 cards from your opponent's deck. Now, I know that depending on the deck, this can actually help your opponent, um, like with Vespiquen and stuff like that. But no matter what, losing 10 cards, it's pretty, it's pretty tough. You know, Even if it was like discard 8, it would have been strong. But 10 cards, they're definitely going to lose a lot of resources, and you really like make them deck out and stuff. it really like speed up the process of them decking out. So maybe you can like use this in a deck out strategy or something. I mean, you can only use it once, but maybe with other guys. Not sure, but you know, decent card, cool art. You know, Charizard. Okay, Ho-Ho GX. Uh, I definitely would rather have this than the Charizard. Fire flying, you know, pretty nice. Looks very nice, I'm not gonna lie. You get the fighting resistance. 190 HP is very good for a basic. Sacred Fire is a snipe for 50. That's pretty sweet. I like just, you know, straightforward snipes. I wish it did a little bit more damage, like maybe 70 or something. But, you know, it'll do. You can use double colorless energy with it. Phoenix Burn. Strong as attack, 180. It's going to kill things in one hit. You can't use it next turn, but it's pretty good. And Eternal Light GX. You put 3 Pokemon GX or EX in any combination back to the bench. Strong recovery attack. Not sure how much is going to come up, but yeah, Ho-Ho GX, decent card too. You know, a lot of these cards, you know, the cards, you know, just like Charizard and Ho-Ho GX to a lesser degree. Good cards, but they kind of need support. They can't really work on their own. Let's say like Yveltal EX. You know, you just attach 2 energy and you're ready to go. And then you just pile up damage from there. Okay, so let's look at Heatmor. What does it do? Flip 2 coins. For each heads, reveal a card from disc pile and put it into your hand. A support attack. Cost 2 energy. I guess you can use double colorless. Not that amazing, but because it's a double coin flip, on average, I guess you recover 1 card. So maybe it's alright. Cards like this are usually too slow, but you know, they can be used. They do exist. And Searing Flame is just 60 for 3. And your opponent's Pokemon is burned. Okay, so let's look at the big boy. Let me check out Horsey first and Sidra, just to see if there's anything special about them. No. Okay, so Sidra just have as a snipe for 30 attack. But Kindra, he's the main attraction. So 140 HP, again, is not bad at all. It's kind of good. Well, not kind of good, but, you know, standard HP. It would have been better if it had like 150 HP these days, but this guy is a very, very extreme heavy hitter. Like, it's basically like the new, like, let's say Legends Awakened Kindra, if you guys remember that guy. You know, it's your one energy sort of stage 2 heavy hitting fast attacker. You know, heavy damage for 1 energy. You know, we'll look at the second attack first, Tornado Shot. So this card is basically discard a water energy, and it does 90 and 30 to an opponent's bench Pokemon. So that's like 120 for 1 energy. You have to discard it, but you know, it's pretty fast. It's pretty aggressive. And after you do this a couple of times, you know, you can use Brine, which is basically like a 90 damage snipe without a discard. So then you can start making momentum, like keeping energies around and stuff. But you know, this Pokemon, I definitely seeing play. I'm definitely gonna want to use it. You know, Kindra, cool Water Dragon Pokemon, original Water Dragon Pokemon. Definitely good. I definitely see this card being a good Stage 2 Pokemon. Then let's look at Azumarill. Okay, there's nothing special about Marill. So Azumarill. So 120 HP, Stage 1 Pokemon. Pretty good. Doesn't have any resistance, but you know, Thick Fat is going to act like a double resistance. Any damage onto this Pokemon by attacks from fire and water is reduced by 30. Thick Fat, you know, standard things, if you know the ability in the game. So yeah, it's like it has a double resistance. And Waterfall is just a, I guess you can say solid 3 for 80 attack. You can use double colorless, so it's like a 2 attachment 80 attack. Decent, I guess. I don't really like this type of art, but you know, whatever. And then we have Wobbuffet. Now this guy is gonna be, he can get crazy. Only has 1 attack, uh, 120 HP, you know, pretty good basic Pokemon. 3 retreat cost means you can search it with Heavy Ball, if that is applicable. I'm not sure how much, don't really remember when Heavy Ball rotates out or if it got reprinted in any set, but Shadow Union, you know, costs 3 psychic energy. Basically, it does 50 damage times the number of retreat cost, the energy for retreat cost to your opponent's active Pokemon. So basically, if your opponent has 2 retreat cost, only 2, this is 100 for 3, and it only gets, you know, better from here. You know, if it has 3, that's 150 costless, and that's pretty good. Like, I wish there was Muscle Band or something to make it hit for 170 and stuff like that. You know, get those one-hit kills. But you can use Choice Band, and that's gonna do the job as well, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know why I mentioned Muscle Band, but whatever. And you know, if they have 4, that's 200. And so definitely on average, you're gonna be doing good damage. Okay, if they only have 1, you're doing 50. So it's like 3 for 50, you know, basic Pokemon. You're doing damage. That's what matters. It's not like a complete, you know, even if they have 1 retreat cost, you can still hit. You know, you'll be getting those 2-hit knockouts and stuff. I don't know how to explain it. Like if you hit for 100 and then you hit for 50 or something. If you have like a choice band attached. I don't know how to explain it. It just means that even if they have 1 retreat cost, you're doing damage. You know, if they have no retreat cost, then you're not doing anything. But you know, it's a really good attacker. I like him. Again, I'm not sure like a lot of these cards if they're going to do anything. You can never know. But you know, we're looking at them. So Scolipede, okay, 160 HP. This is definitely good for a stage 2 these days. You know, that's like you want to be hitting 150 these days. That's the standard, it seems. So it has a 3 for 80 attack, does poison, and Steamroller, you know, your standard shit, is 150 for 4, not affected by resistance. So with Choice Band, you're doing 170, so maybe that's decent. The thing is powering up these attackers that need so much energy. I guess you can use Dragonair maybe, but you know, you'd want to use Darkrai with that guy if you're going to use him. So we have Palossand, that's what it's called, right? A Sand Tomb. The defending Pokemon can retreat during your opponent's next turn and does 80. Alright. And discard all cards attached to both players' active Pokemon. Wow. For 4 colorless energy. So that can actually be quite disruptive. I mean, you get rid of all your shit too. You're gonna lose your 2 double colorless energy if that's what you have to attack. I mean, actually, you can use just about anything since it's double colorless. You can even use Magnezone and shit. I mean, not that I recommend it, but you know, discarding all resources, and it doesn't require a coin flip. You know, it's interesting. It's definitely something I don't see every day. Okay, so let's look at a card that I really like from this set, Lucario. Pretty sweet ass art, not gonna lie. And this is like definitely modeled after Lucario Level X, the good old Lucario Level X from Mysterious Treasures. I remember I pulled that card back in the day when I was young. It was pretty cool. It wasn't like the best card in the world because, you still had to attach 3 energy, but similar to this guy, you attach 3 fighting energy and it does 120. The other one did like 80, and you were gonna have an increase in damage if your opponent attacked you the next turn. But, it was because, 80 for 3 back then was considered hot shit, I guess. If I remember it right, maybe it was like 90, or I don't remember, for 2 or whatever. But just like the level X guy, once you evolve this guy, once you put Lucario down, your opponent can't fucking attack it. Like, no damage, no effects, anything during the next turn. So I definitely see this card, maybe people will try and play it and use stuff like Devolution Spray and, strategies like this. Because, once you get 3 fighting energies, 120 damage isn't that bad. Costless. You don't have to discard and stuff. And since it's fighting, you can always use stuff like strong energy and whatnot. So definitely the ability is pretty good. And it's not like a special level X or whatever, you just a regular stage 1 Pokemon. So, Chromominable. Stage 1 with 140 HP, good. And the attacks. Guts Hammer does 80 for 1, and this Pokemon does damage to itself equal to the amount of damage counters on it. So, if you keep this guy healed, it means that, you won't do any or much damage to yourself. But obviously if he's pretty damaged, you're gonna kill yourself attacking with this attack. But it's good, 1 for 80, it's gonna be good. And Double Stomp, flip 2 coins, does 40 more damage for each heads. So it does 80 on its own, so you're on average, maybe you're gonna be doing 120 for 3, so that's not bad. And 160 at your best. It's also fighting, so you have strong energy. And there's always choice band and shit. Passimian, 110 HP, punch, 30 for 2. Discard a Pokemon tool from your hand. This attack does nothing. So 3 for 9, and you have to discard a tool. Oh, for 2, not 3, but decent attack. Not the best, but I guess it's alright. Okay, so let's look at some GXs now. Let me look at a Alolan Grimer real quick first. So a costless attack. Division, search your deck for an Alolan Grimer, put it on your bench. So not bad if you start with him. At least you can immediately get guys on the field. Alolan Muck GX. So definitely a stage 1. 220 HP. Good. Forestry cost is bad, obviously. Psychic resistance, okay. So attacks. Chemical Bracelet does 70 damage for each special conditions on your opponent's active Pokemon. So, like, if Hypnotoxic Laser was around, which thank God the card is not, I'm never gonna miss that card, you could potentially do 140. But it's not exactly like, it does require 3 energy, a dark and a colorless, if it's gonna be a double attachment. So, I don't know, but if you manage to get like status conditions out easily, then maybe, 3 for 70 isn't good, but if you can do maybe 140 for 3, then yeah. Crunch, 120 for 4, and you discard an energy to your opponent's active Pokemon. Alright. And try Hazard GX. Switch your opponent's active Pokemon with one of the bench Pokemon. The new active Pokemon is poisoned, burned, and paralyzed. Okay, so this is basically your way to immediately do shitloads of damage with Chemical Bracelet. I mean, you're only gonna be able to do it this once because it's the GX attack. I think it would have been better if this was the regular attack, and then you can only do the Chemical Bracelet once, because consistently burning, poisoning, and paralyzing the opponent is better. I mean, obviously it would have been broken if it was auto paralysis all the time, but maybe if it was just poison and burned, I guess, or, you know, poison and maybe you flip a coin for paralyzed. But, you know, definitely you do this and you're going to be doing 220 damage or 210 damage automatically next turn, and your opponent's also paralyzed. So it's a 2 attack combo. Not bad. Not sure if it's going to be good. I see it seeing play. I see it people trying out. You know, it's also dark. That must amount to something. Crunch isn't a bad attack once you get going. And, you know, there's other ways to put ailments down, so maybe. Okay, so Darkrai time. Darkrai gets represented. Looking pretty cool. Hypnoblast. It's a 30 for 2 and auto sleep. Okay, decent. And if your opponent already used their GX attack, Dark Raid is going to be doing 160 damage. So once they do this attack is going to be consistently do it. It's going to consistently do 160 damage for 3, and 2 if you use double colorless. So definitely a heavy hitting attack. You can use choice band, you can do all sorts of things. Yeah, you'll be fucking motherfuckers up easily. And even if they didn't use it, 80 damage is respectable. Okay, Malamar. 100 HP, confused, you may move all energy. Yeah, not that interesting. Seen this many times before. Diancie, you're here too. Shining Prayer, search your deck for a Pokemon that evolves from one of your Pokemon and evolve it. Not bad. Diamond Storm heals damage from each of your fairies. You do 30 for 2. Decent little card. The first attack is probably the one that matters most. Ripombi. Once starting your turn, you may search your deck for 2 basic energy cards, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Good support ability, I'm not gonna lie. I can see this card using it in stuff like Magnezone, and even stuff like Darkrai, you know, with Dragonair and, you know, all that stuff. It's basically a professor's letter every turn. It's only a stage 1, so, you know, not bad. 7-8 HP isn't that good, and, you know, it would have been good if it had free retreat, but, you know, it'll do. Okay. Noivern GX. 200 HP, stage 1. Okay. Distortion. During your opponent's next turn, your opponent cannot play items from their hand. Well, it says goods card here, because, you know, obviously when I'm doing this, the English set isn't out yet, but I believe it must be like, actually I don't know, is it items, is it, if it's items, you know, pretty fucking broken. This is gonna be a Seismitoad all over again. If it's just tools, still not bad, but obviously it's not gonna be like items. Uh, if it's items, then definitely this card is going to see play. I mean, it's not as quick as Seismitoad since that guy was a basic, and you can use double colorless energy, but it does a little bit more damage. It has more HP, um, and it's a strong strategy. It's also Dragon. Actually, yeah, it's Dragon, so you can use a double Dragon energy. So yeah, scratch that with a double colorless energy. Loud Sonic. During your opponent's next turn, your opponent cannot play special energy from their hand, so more disruption. Loud Sonic. And 120 for 3 is good. And Boom Burst GX. 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. And yeah, 50 to everybody. Alright. So this card is good. There's no other way to say it. 3 very good attacks, good HP. Retreat cost is wow, free actually. So yeah, this is one of those cards that they know they wanted to make it good. So I definitely see this card seeing play. Any damage sensitive? Okay, so Persian is your 2-card, 2-attack combo guy. You use the first attack and you'll do more damage next turn. So if you use Screech and then you do Slash, on average you're doing what? 50 for 1. Yeah, not good. Not good. Noctowl, I don't think I've seen this in a while. Your opponent's active Pokemon is so Auto Sleep, 30 for 1, okay. Look at your opponent's hand, discard a Pokemon from their hand, 70 for 3. Alright. Bouffalant. During your opponent's next turn, any damage on this Pokemon is reduced by 30. May this card a state in play. Okay. Right, so Noibat, that's the basic form. You know, not that it's gonna matter much, but I guess I'm gonna point out that the attack is basically if you flip a coin, if it's heads, you prevent all damage. Kind of like the, oh, what was it called? The one, I think it wasn't Flashfire or whatever, which set was it? The annoying, uh, what was it called? Noivern. So let's look at some trainer cards. Rotom Dex, Poke Finder mode. Look at the top cards of your deck. 4 top cards. You may put the cards in any way you like. Yeah, it reminds me of the thing in Call of Legends. Yeah, too bad Salamence was never good in Arceus. Anyway, I digress. Muscle Dumbbells. Maximum HP of a Pokemon this card attached to is increased by 40. Okay. So this is like less broken, I guess, Pokemon, what's it called? Shit, I always forget the name. I can't believe it. You know, the card that you do 10 more damage and you get 40 HP, but it has to be basic Pokemon. What they should have done with that card is made it for stage 2s. I always said that, but whatever. So let's look at Kiawe. Kiawe, Kiai, or however you pronounce them. Search your deck for up to 4 fire energy and put them on one of your Poke. Oh wow, okay. So yeah, using this, Charizard becomes immediately more viable. So this is definitely much better than Blacksmith and Flashfire. I'm gonna say that because you don't have to rely on putting the stuff in the discard pile, and you get 4 energy. So yeah, this is actually quite good for fire Pokemon. It's People are definitely gonna try this with many fire Pokemon. Plumeria, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So this is your energy removal for active Pokemon supporter. Team Flare Grant reprint. Charizard GX full art, and you know, the full arts looking good as usual. Oh, GX looks pretty cool. You got the secret rares. We have secret rare Escape Rope, secret rare Muscle Dumbbells, and a secret rare Fire Energy, being all about fire. Alright, so that's the first half. You know, in Japan they made 2 halves of the sets. So let's look at Butterfree. Flip a coin, your opponent was paralyzed, heal damage from all of your Pokemon. Show this Pokemon. Yeah, gimmick card, not gonna be great. Tangrowth is the Giga Drain stuff. A strategy that, you know, saw some play. I remember during the late days of DP, like Unleashed, people used Torterra from, I think it was Unleashed, yeah, and you basically did like 60 and healed 60 if you used Expert Belt, and you know, the tank was like, it was hard to kill him. So automatically I'm thinking of this 140 HP, pretty good for stage 1. Usually Tangrowth has high HP, and you know, if you use Choice Band, it's basically 60 for 1 and you heal the same amount. If you hit for weakness, you're gonna heal more. Okay, and Crosswise Whip, flip 4 coins, is basically Metacross's EX's shit attack. But you know, if you flip, you're on average, maybe you're gonna be hitting for 100. Flip the 150, okay, it's worth it. And potential to do 200 too. Not a great attack. The focus is definitely gonna be on Giga Drain. Another card that I see myself trying out if I get it. Okay, so let's look at Wimpod. During your first turn, this Pokemon has no retreat cost. So if you start with this guy and you want to get rid of him, you can. But other than that, they put an unnecessary 3 retreat cost to him. So this is like one of those negation ass, has the ability to sort of be good, but you know, it wouldn't have been a problem if I just had 1 retreat. So kind of a shitty basic, but you know, you're definitely gonna use them if you're gonna use Golisopod. So how good is this guy? 210 HP, stage 1, okay. If this Pokemon was on the bench and became your active Pokemon, it does 120 for 1. Okay, good, good. So you use this with Zoroark and you fuck motherfuckers up, okay. Armor Press, 100 for 3, and reduction from your opponent's guys, okay. And the GX attack, 150 for 3. Switch this with one of your bench Pokemon. Okay, so another good Pokemon. This is definitely good. Uh, Grass, for your tree cost, you can get it with a Heavy Ball. And we have a Gyarados. Oh wow, very, very good. Stage 1, 150 HP. This is very good. Despair. Despair does 50 times. Yeah, definitely this is modeled after Stormfront Gyarados, so a lot of modeling around as usual. So basically for every Magikarp in your discard pile, this does 50. So, you know, maximum you're going to be doing 150 because you need at least one to have around. Uh, no matter what, even if you do 100 for two, use a double colorless. Very good. Now obviously it's not costless like that guy, but it's definitely good. I mean, obviously the one in Stormfront was broken for its day, having 130 HP stage 1, doing costless damage. Yeah, but this one, you know, I see it being good too. Splash Burn, 150, 160 damage and does 30 damage to your guys, but you know, Mime is always around, or he's been around so far. So, he's good. It's definitely good. I see this card being good. 160, use Choice Band, you know. And he's water, and there's some good support for water, I'm pretty sure these days. Raichu, what's up? When you play this card to evolve, when your opponent's exposed, not paralyzed. Okay, broken. So, another devolution spray strategy, and 130 for 3 isn't bad. You do 30 to yourself, but Storming Seas or Raging Seas, or I think it's, yeah, Storming Sea, that card is around, so, you know, 110 HP for stage 1, okay. Decent guy. Auto Paralysis is good. This can be used as a support Pokemon, no doubt. Electric. I don't know why I checked it. Yeah, it's not going to have Dynamo. I wish it did, but whatever. Let's look at Electros. Defending Pokemon can retreat. 50 for 2, okay. You may do 80 more damage with this attack. If you do, one of your bench Pokemon. So basically it's 160. So for the chance, you do 160 and then you fuck one of your guys for 80 damage. So if it wasn't for mine, this isn't a good trade-off. It's too much self-damage. But because that guy exists, it's basically going to be like Zapdos that I use from Orange Skies. It's basically going to be a costless 160 attack. So very good. This is actually going to be a good partner for Magnezone. I definitely see myself using him. Obviously it's two stage 2 Pokemon, but you know, if you don't want to use basics, if you don't want to focus on Raikou all the time, it's something to think about. Okay, so let's look at Duskar now. I already know this guy's good because I already read him from another time. But let's look at the cool evolutionary line of his. Duskull, put a basic Pokemon from this opponent to your bench. Good attack, definitely could come up since it's a basic Pokemon. It's nice when, you know, the Pokemon that you're trying to evolve to, its line can also be useful sometimes. Dusclops, put 1 damage count on every Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent's. Okay, that's not that good, but maybe. I think it has some synergy with Duskar. I don't remember, but I remember that guy being good. We'll see him in a sec. Okay, so let's look at Dusknoir. So 150 HP, good. 3 retreat cost, not good, but you search it with Heavy Ball this way. Fight and resistance, nice to have. So Darkness Invitation, look at your opponent's hand. You may put 1 basic Pokemon from their hand into their bench, then put 3 damage counters on that Pokemon. So this can be a very manipulative ability, like you force your opponent to use a Shaman or what's it called? Tapu Lele, I think it's called. Tapu. Yeah, I think it's Tapu Lele. The one that gets you a supporter. Very good Pokemon. Um, uh, I don't know if the effect is gonna activate. I'm not sure about that ruling, but I mean, even if it does, it's quite manipulative because sometimes, you don't want to have those guys around, and this attack forces them to put them down. But the big thing that, this guy is good for me is that the synergy with Mind Jack. Does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So, on average, how much does it do? If they have like 5 Pokemon, 30 more damage, so 150 and 30, that's 180 damage. And, obviously, okay, you can try to use Sky Field, or the field spell, Roaring Skies. I'm not sure. Roaring Skies is the name of the set, but I'm not sure if like the field spell, the stadium, having Yu-Gi-Oh in my head, is if it has the same name. But yeah, you can even like potentially do even more damage if your opponent's bench is bigger. Now obviously the original stadium that has like 2 effects depending on where it's facing. That came in Breakthrough, that limits your bench, fucks up this attack. But I mean, even still, it does good damage for 3. The important thing is that it has good HP too. You do 180 or 150 damage, even 120 for 3, and it can be potentially 2, obviously, since you're going to use double colorless energy. And if the stadium in Phantom Forces was around, man, I don't remember their names. I don't know what's up with me, but you could have done this for just a regular 2 attachment. You don't even need double colorless energy, so maybe an expanded is even better. But definitely a cool card, definitely Dusknoir, one of my favorite ghost types, is up there with Gengar. Cool card. I see it seeing play, Dusknoir cards are usually very good. Toxicroak. Your opponent's exposed not poison. Stack more damage. Poison. So 160 damage, 190 damage, 200. So on average 100 damage for these costly attacks. I don't know if this card is very good. If you use it with Ariados, then yeah, maybe. But if you're gonna do Poison Jab and then attack with Poison High, not sure. Necrozma GX, let's finally look at you. What have they done with you in the new games? Man, I really was just gonna wanna go on a rant now, but yeah, this is already gonna be long as fuck, so yeah, let's ignore my thoughts. Let's look at the card in front of us. So at the end of Light, this Pokemon does not receive damage from attacks by your opponent's colorless Pokemon. So already he's gonna be immune to shit. This can't be important. It's gonna be a counter to stuff like Tauros GX and other guys. Prism Burst. Discard Psychic Energy test this Pokemon. 16 more damage for its Psychic Energy discarded this way. So this reminds me of what the fuck, Rayquaza EX. It won't be as good as him. So basically, if you discard 3 Psychic Energy, is 180, oh, and 10, 90. Oh yeah, so that's actually better. Yeah, it's just you can't attack quick with him, like Rayquaza, since he requires the 3 3 energies to attack. But I mean, I guess maybe you can use double colorless and do like 70 and discard 1, but whatever. So obviously, if you can accelerate psychic energy, this attack is very good. It's basically Rayquaza style, kill whatever you want, unlimited damage ceiling. But, you know, we don't have Emboar and Electrics and stuff like that, like we did back then with Rayquaza. But, I mean, you never know. There's Max Elixir. Actually, there's Dragonair. You can use fucking Dragonair. And, I mean, the thing is, even though there's a lot of guys you can use Dragonair with, Darkrai is just too good for you to have, like, another partner to replace him. So, yeah, a lot of these cards, maybe they'll see play when that guy gets rotated out. I suppose it's coming, it came out in Breakpoint, so I don't want to say it's right around the corner, but it's going to happen eventually. Not really sure exactly when, but it's going to happen. Black Ray GX, 100 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon GX or EX in play. Isn't affected by weakness or resistance. So, if your opponent has like 3 guys, it's 300 for 3 to 3 guys, so yeah, good attack. Obviously your opponent's going to have Pokemon EX or GX, but it's fantastic damage for what it's worth. Rhyperior, also remember checking this guy out. Modeled after DP. You play this card from your hand, discard 3 cards from your opponent's deck, and the attack is actually better than what the one in DP had. It did 80 for 3, and then you couldn't attack, and it wasn't affected by anything, and that was bad. It didn't even hit for weakness. This is actually better. It costs more, 1 more, but doing 170 is definitely better than doing 3 for 80 for back then. Because this way you can kill things in 1 hit, especially with Choice Band. It can attack next turn, but there's ways around it with Zoroark and Switch and stuff like that. But, you know, obviously you're either going to use this as a deck out strategy, or you can attack with him too. He also gets strong energy too, and that's better. 160 HP is great. Something to think about. Mudsdale, let's look at your res. 4 energy for 130, does 32 whenever opponent spends Pokemon. Okay, that's good. And kick away 60 for 3, your opponent has to switch. So definitely a lot of heavy ass attackers doing solid damage in one form or another. So Marshadow GX fighting. I'm actually not sure why he's fighting. I think he's fighting in the game too, like fighting Shadow, fighting Ghost. Okay, so Shadow Hand. This Pokemon can use any attack of any basic Pokemon in your discard pile as long as you have energy to use it. So this is like the Ghost version of Mew, I guess. Instead of the Pokemon having to be in play, they have to be in the discard pile. No doubt this is going to see play, this is going to be good, because it's basically Mew in another way. But it is Mew either way. You know, using attacks from other Pokemon, but having a different type, and giving you additional attackers. Definitely good, definitely gonna have its place somehow. If not now, then definitely later. Beatdown is 120 for 3, okay. And 100 String Revere is the GX attack. Does 50 damage times the number of basic energy attack this Pokemon. So, I guess you can do... I mean, it's a waste to do 1 for 50. Or even like maybe 2 for 100. I guess that can come up. But you can do like 3 for 150 or 4 for 100 for 200. Fighting guy, so get strong energy too. Good card, no doubt. Alolan Eradicate. Fang Reinforcement. If your opponent's active Pokemon has Pokemon tool attached. 60 costless. Flip a coin if this attack does nothing. I guess 120 HP stage 1 is alright. Costless attacker. I mean, I guess... Well, they need your opponent needs to have tools to do good damage, so... Not sure. Okay, let's look at Gardevoir EX. But let me look at Routes and Curlier first. Okay, nothing really particular about them. 230 HP, stage 2. Okay. Once during your turn, you may attach a fairy energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon's Secret Spring. So this is basically like Sceptile from without the healing from Primal Clash. So even though this is good, it kind of sucks that it's even worse than Sceptile. I mean, Sceptile was not good simply because you can only do one per turn. Like if it was unlimited, like Magnezone and Emboar and Blastoise, then yeah, they gave it the healing shit, but we really couldn't care about that. I'd rather be able to attach like 2 or 3, you know, just having multiple attachments. I mean, it's not like every time you use Magnezone and stuff, you attach like 3 and 4 energies per turn, but you want to have that option. You know, you don't want to be limited to one. So this is still good. This is still gonna be good. Especially because, you know, at least you can power yourself up if it has good attacks. So let's see, this attacker has 30 damage, some number of energy cards attached to both this Pokemon and your opponent's active Pokemon. Ooh, okay, so this reminds me of Sandstorm, EX Sandstorm Gardevoir, and it's basically going to be 60 on your own, and if your opponent has anything, you know, it goes up from there, like Mewtwo and Yveltal. So good attack, I'm not gonna lie. It has that unlimited seeding capacity, which has always proven to be good. And Twilight GX, reveal 10 cards from your discard pile, then shuffle those cards into your deck. Strong as recovery attack. I would have rather had something else, but at least you can always use this and not deck out. There's probably some mind games you can do as well, you know. Maybe make your opponent think you're gonna, maybe if you have your opponent are both close to decking out, you know, you can do this. Whatever. Shinotic. Yeah, not really worth. I don't see anything worthy about him. Zygarde. Wow, so it finally happened. A basic Pokemon with 150 HP. Yeah. So Land Crush 80 for 3, costless. Decent. And Dark Enforcer, or Core Enforcer. Discard a Dark and Fairy energy attached to this Pokemon, and it does 150. You can use Dragon Energy too. This is a good attack. Its HP is great, and both attacks are usable. So not a bad basic Pokemon. As usual, you know, cards like this, they're good on paper, good overall, stat-wise and attack-wise, but even, you know, for what your cost is, if you do good damage, if it's going to take a long time for you to charge him up, there's no way to get around the speed, they end up not being good, but kind of good for me. Porygon Z, I remember I read this before, because Porygon Z, one of my favorite normal types, he's not good. You can devolve guys and stuff, but yeah, it's not good. The attack is shit too. Beware or beware. Mix up. Deck out guy. Okay. Okay, so Torment Spray. Choose a card from your opponent's hand. If it's a supporter card, discard it. If not, put it back. Okay. Super Pokemon Retriever. Return one of your Pokemon cards attached to it to your hand. Oh boy. So this is Super Scoop Up reprint. Right. They changed the name. I don't know why. But yeah. You can also use this with Lucario and, you know, strategies like that. So they definitely, you know, the cards are in here if you want to go for that strategy. Guzma. Switch your opponent's active Pokemon, one of their bench Pokemon, to switch your active Pokemon. What? So it's escape. Oh, right. Okay. So it's escape rope, but you get to pick. Okay. Interesting. I don't think this guy might replace Lysander, but he might be something to think about. Yeah. It's only in specific situations he's gonna come up. I guess if you're the type of guy that runs more than one Lysander, maybe you run two, and you run via Seekers, maybe you can do one Lysander, one Guzma. But for me, like, I'm usually a one Lysander guy. Got my, like, usually I only have space for two via Seekers in my decks, don't judge me. But, yeah, he's not going to replace Lysander. But I suppose eventually that guy is going to get rotated out. I mean, he got reprinted quite a few times, so he's sticking around so far, but eventually it might happen. Each player counts the amount of cards in the hand, then each player shuffles added to the deck to the size of the previous hand. Hmm. Each player... So, this is good, right? Wiki or Wick. Shuffles the hand to the deck. So, this is only good if you have a good hand. And normally when you play cards like N, you want to have less cards in your hand so you actually draw and thin through your deck. No, this isn't a good supporter. Not a very good supporter, I think. Po-Town Stadium. When either plays Pokemon evolves, puts in another Pokemon. Okay, so anti-evolution shit. Full outs look great. Man, look at weak. I'm surprised they actually, well, I mean, I guess this is the Japanese version. I'm wondering if they're gonna censor cards like this. Because look at this chick, you know, her breasts are kind of large. I mean, she's not really showing skin, but, you know. And we have the golden Super Pokemon Retriever. Rescue Stretcher. Did I miss this card? Put a Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. Shuffle 3 Pokemon. So this is like a Super Rod or Night Maintenance. But you also pick a guy from your discard pile and put into your hand. Very good. So that's the set in a nutshell. It's a strong set, no doubt. There's definitely strategies. I mean, ever since Sun and Moon this era started, they've done well, you know, with the new features and stuff, even if it's like nothing that we haven't seen before. You know, the costless attack concept and, you know, GX basically being, you know, the EXs from the original EX era, as they should have been. Somebody still needs to tell me what the fuck does GX stand for, because I know what EX stand for, it means extra, but what does the G stand for anyway? But I definitely recommend you guys invest. This isn't like a bad set, and you know, usually bad sets, they usually have at least something that's important. But this does have a lot of cards. There's definitely a lot of stage 2 attackers if that's your thing. Maybe if you want to try Kindra out, you want to try Dusknoir out. I see myself like those guys are probably my top picks. What else? Electric. That was a cool card to use with Magnezone that I'm thinking. There's definitely some porters, some good GX Pokemon. What was it called? Well, no, wait. His name is, yeah, I think it was Kiawe or whatever. You know, that guy is definitely a card that, you know, can be good with fire Pokemon. I can't really think of attackers that come to mind, fire attackers that we have these days that, you know, you want to charge up. But, you know, there's Charizard in this set. And, you know, that guy, I mean, it's not exactly the most viable strategy, but at least you can try. But anyway, okay, I don't want to drag this video any longer. So, that's my review, guys. I hope it was good enough. It's my first time doing this. Anyway, guys, that's what's up for today.